Have you ever watched an English movie and understood everything, but when someone asks you a question in English, you freeze? You know the words, but they just won't come out of your mouth? If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. And today, we're going to fix this problem once and for all.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Fluent English Talk. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Alex. It's wonderful to see you here today.
We're so excited about today's topic because this is something that so many English learners struggle with. You can understand English when you read or listen, but speaking, that's a completely different story.
Exactly. This is one of the most common problems we hear about. People say, I understand English, but I can't speak it. And today, we're going to explain why this happens and, more importantly, how you can fix it.
We'll break down the real reasons behind this problem, share practical solutions, and give you exercises you can start doing today to improve your speaking skills.
And of course, you'll learn lots of useful vocabulary and expressions along the way. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear action plan to become a confident English speaker.
But before we dive in, we need your help. If you want to improve your English speaking skills, please hit that like button right now.
Yes, and if you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe to Fluent English Talk and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our lessons. We're here to help you become fluent.
All right, let's get started and solve this mystery together.
So Lisa, let's start with the big question. Why can people understand English but can't speak it?
That's a great question, Alex, and the answer is actually quite simple. Understanding and speaking are two completely different skills.
Exactly. Let me give you an example. Imagine you love watching soccer. You watch every game. You understand all the rules. You know all the strategies. But does that mean you can play like a professional?
Of course not. Watching and doing are different. The same is true with language. Listening is a passive skill. You receive information. But speaking is an active skill. You have to produce language yourself.
Perfect explanation. Let's learn some vocabulary here. Passive skill. This means you receive information without creating it. Reading and listening are passive skills.
Passive skill. Say it with me. Passive skill. Listening to music is a passive activity.
And active skill. This means you create or produce something. Speaking and writing are active skills.
Active skill. Speaking English is an active skill that requires practice.
Great. Now let's talk about the main reasons why you can understand but can't speak. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Reason number 1. Lack of speaking practice. This is the biggest reason. You spend hours listening and reading, but how much time do you spend actually speaking?
Exactly. If you never practice speaking, your brain doesn't learn how to produce English quickly. It's like learning to swim by only reading books about swimming. You have to get in the water.
I love that analogy. Let me ask our viewers, how many hours per week do you practice speaking English? Write your answer in the comments. Be honest.
Great question. Reason number 2, fear of making mistakes. Many people are afraid to speak because they don't want to make errors. They think, what if I say something wrong? What if people laugh at me?
This fear is so common, but the truth is, making mistakes is how you learn. Every native speaker made thousands of mistakes when they were learning their language as children.
That's so true. Let me teach you a useful phrase. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. This means you should be brave and not worry about errors. Don't be afraid to make mistakes when speaking English.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Everyone, say it out loud. Don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Perfect. Reason number 3, you think in your native language first. When someone asks you a question in English, you translate it to your language, think of an answer in your language, and then translate it back to English. This process is too slow.
Yes, this is called translation. Translation means changing words from one language to another. I'm trying to stop translating in my head when I speak English.
Translation. Can you say that? Translation. The problem with translation is it takes too much time. You need to think directly in English.
Exactly. Reason number 4, limited vocabulary for speaking. You might know many words when you read them, but you can't remember them quickly when you need to speak.
This is the difference between passive vocabulary and active vocabulary. Passive vocabulary is words you understand when you see or hear them. Active vocabulary is words you can use easily when speaking or writing.
Great distinction. Most learners have a large passive vocabulary, but a small active vocabulary. We need to change that.
And the final reason, number 5, lack of confidence. Even if you know the words, if you don't believe you can speak English well, you won't speak at all.
Confidence is so important. Confidence means believing in yourself and your abilities. I'm building my confidence in speaking English.
Confidence. Building confidence takes time and practice. With practice, my confidence grows every day.
Beautiful. So, let's review these 5 reasons quickly. Can you remember them?
Let's see. Lack of speaking practice, fear of making mistakes, thinking in your native language first, limited active vocabulary, and lack of confidence.
Perfect. Now that we understand the problem, let's talk about solutions.
Okay, the first solution is simple but powerful. Practice speaking every single day, even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes.
Absolutely. You need to make speaking daily habit. A habit is something you do regularly, often without thinking about it. I'm trying to make English practice a daily habit.
Habit. Daily habit. Brushing my teeth is a daily habit.
Perfect example. Now I know what you're thinking, but Alex, I don't have anyone to practice with. Don't worry, you can practice alone.
That's right. Here are some ways to practice speaking alone. First, talk to yourself. Yes, I'm serious. Describe what you're doing throughout the day in English.
For example, when you're making breakfast, say out loud, I'm making coffee. I'm putting bread in the toaster. Now I'm waiting for the toast.
That's perfect. It sounds funny, but it really works. Another way is to describe your surroundings. Look around the room and describe what you see.
I see a white wall. There's a picture hanging on the wall. I see a red chair and a wooden table.
Excellent. You can also read out loud. Find an article or a book and read it out loud. This helps you practice pronunciation and fluency.
Fluency means speaking smoothly and easily. I'm working on my English fluency.
Fluency. Say it. Fluency. Reading out loud improves your fluency.
Another great technique is shadowing. Shadowing means listening to native speakers and repeating what they say immediately, trying to match their speed and pronunciation.
Shadowing is amazing. You can use our videos for shadowing practice. Just replay our dialogues and repeat after us.
Love it. Now let's practice a bit. I'll say a sentence and you repeat after me. Ready?
Let's do it.
I want to improve my English speaking skills.
Now you try. Say it out loud. I want to improve my English speaking skills.
Great. Next one. Practice makes perfect.
Your turn. Practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect is a common saying. It means if you practice something many times, you'll become very good at it.
Practice makes perfect. This is so true for learning English.
Solution number 2. Stop translating in your head. This is really important. You need to start thinking directly in English.
But Alex, how do you do that? It sounds difficult.
I know it sounds hard, but it's actually possible with practice. Here's what you need to do. Build English-English connections. Instead of translating words to your language, learn words through pictures, examples, and English definitions.
For example, instead of translating happy to your language, think happy means you feel good. You smile when you're happy. Example, I'm happy when I'm with my friends.
Exactly. This is called thinking in English. You create meaning in English without using your native language.
Another tip is to practice simple self-talk in English. Throughout the day, describe your feelings and thoughts in simple English sentences.
For example, I'm tired. I want to rest. I'm feeling hungry. I should eat something.
These are simple sentences, but they train your brain to think in English. Let's practice right now. How are you feeling right now? Tell us in English. Say it out loud or write it in the comments.
Great exercise. You could say, I'm feeling good. I'm excited to learn. I'm a little tired. Or I'm feeling motivated.
Motivated means you have a reason to do something and you feel energized to do it. I'm motivated to improve my English.
Motivated. Are you feeling motivated today? Tell us.
Another useful technique is visualization. When you hear or read an English word, try to picture it in your mind instead of translating it.
For example, when you hear the word dog, don't think of the word in your language. Instead, imagine a picture of a dog in your mind.
This creates a direct connection between the English word and the meaning. Over time, this becomes automatic.
Solution number 3. Build your active vocabulary. Remember, active vocabulary is the words you can actually use when speaking.
Right. So how do we move words from passive vocabulary to active vocabulary?
Great question. The key is repetition and usage. You need to use the words in your own sentences multiple times.
Here's a technique. Learn vocabulary in phrases and sentences, not just individual words. Instead of memorizing excited, learn I'm excited about. I'm so excited to. That sounds exciting.
Perfect. Let's practice this right now. Let's take the word improve. Improve means to make something better.
Improve. Now let's use it in sentences. I want to improve my English.
I'm trying to improve my pronunciation.
How can I improve my speaking skills?
My English is improving every day.
Excellent. Now it's your turn. Make a sentence with improve and say it out loud. Pause the video if you need to think.
Did you do it? Great. This is how you build active vocabulary. You take a word and use it in many different sentences.
Another important tip is keep a speaking vocabulary journal. Write down useful phrases you want to use when speaking and practice them out loud every day.
For example, you could write, in my opinion, I think that, I agree with you, I'm not sure but, could you explain that?
These are conversation starters and fillers. They help you sound more natural and give you time to think.
Let's learn a few more useful phrases for everyday conversation.
Okay, let's learn some really useful phrases that will help you speak more confidently.
First category, expressing opinions. These phrases help you share your thoughts. Let's start with, I think. This is the most common way to give your opinion. I think English is important.
I think. Easy, right? I think coffee is delicious.
Another one, in my opinion. This is a bit more formal. In my opinion, practice is the key to success.
In my opinion, this sounds very natural.
Here's another. From my point of view. This means the same thing. From my point of view, making mistakes is okay.
From my point of view, this sounds very natural.
Next category, agreeing with someone. When someone says something and you agree, you can say, I agree, or I agree with you.
I agree. You're right. I agree with you completely.
Or you can say, exactly, or that's true. These are shorter responses.
Exactly. That's true. These are great for conversations.
Now, what if you disagree politely? You can say, I'm not sure I agree, or I see your point, but...
These are polite ways to disagree. Polite means respectful and kind. I try to be polite when I disagree with someone.
Polite. Being polite is very important in English conversation.
Next category, asking for clarification. When you don't understand something, don't just say nothing. Ask questions.
You can say, "Could you repeat that, please?" Or, "I didn't catch that. Could you say it again?"
Catch here means to understand or hear. I didn't catch your name. Could you repeat it?
You can also say, "What do you mean?" Or, "Could you explain that?"
These phrases are so useful. Don't be shy. If you don't understand, just ask.
And here's a great one when you need time to think. "Let me think." Or, "That's a good question." Or, let me see."
These are thinking phrases or fillers. They give you a few seconds to organize your thoughts.
Let's practice. I'll ask you a question, Lisa, and you use some of these phrases. Ready?
Ready.
What do you think is the best way to learn English?
That's a good question. Let me think. I think the best way is to practice every day. You should listen, read, write, and especially speak as much as possible. In my opinion, speaking practice is the most important.
Perfect answer. Did everyone hear how Lisa used those phrases? She said, "That's a good question. Let me think. I think. And in my opinion."
These phrases make you sound more natural and confident. Try using them in your conversations.
All right, now let's do some role plays. This is where you can really practice speaking. We'll do a dialogue, and then we'll break it down.
Let's start with a simple conversation between friends.
Hey, Lisa, how have you been?
Hi, Alex. I've been good, thanks. How about you?
I'm doing well. I've been really busy with work lately.
Oh, really? What have you been working on?
I've been working on a big project. It's challenging, but I'm learning a lot.
That sounds interesting. I'm sure you're doing great.
Thanks, I hope so. By the way, what have you been up to?
Not much, just studying English. I'm trying to improve my speaking skills.
That's awesome. Practice makes perfect, right?
Exactly. I'm speaking English every day now.
Good for you. Keep it up.
Thanks, I will.
Okay, let's analyze that conversation. Did you notice the phrases we used?
We said, "How have you been?" This is a common greeting. It means, "How are you?" but it asks about recent time, not just right now.
How have you been? Try saying it. How have you been?
We also said, "How about you?" This means, "And you?" It's a way to return the question.
I'm doing well. How about you?
Another phrase, "What have you been working on?" This asks about recent activities or projects.
And we said, "What have you been up to?" This is a casual way to ask, "What have you been doing?"
What have you been up to? This is very common among friends.
We also used keep it up. This means continue doing what you're doing. You're doing well.
Keep it up. This is a great phrase for encouragement.
Okay, now let's try another role play. This time it's about asking for help.
Excuse me, Alex. Do you have a minute?
Sure, Lisa. What's up?
I need some help with this report. I'm not sure how to start.
No problem. I'd be happy to help. What exactly are you struggling with?
Well, I don't know how to organize my ideas. I have a lot of information, but it's messy.
I see. Have you tried making an outline first?
An outline? What's that?
An outline is like a plan. You write down your main ideas first, and then you add details later.
Oh, that makes sense. Could you show me an example?
Of course. Let me grab some paper and we'll work on it together.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your help.
You're welcome. That's what friends are for. Great dialogue. Let's review the key phrases.
We started with, "Do you have a minute?" This is a polite way to ask if someone has time to help you.
Do you have a minute? Very useful phrase. Excuse me, do you have a minute? I need to ask you something.
We said, "What's up?" This is a casual way to ask, "What's the matter?" or "What do you need?"
What's up? This is super common in informal conversation.
Another important phrase, "I'd be happy to help." This is a kind way to say yes when someone asks for help.
I'd be happy to help. Try saying it. I'd be happy to help you.
We also said, "What exactly are you struggling with?" Struggle means to have difficulty with something.
Struggle. I'm struggling with pronunciation. Many students struggle with speaking.
And we used "that makes sense." This means "now I understand" or "that's logical."
That makes sense. When someone explains something and you understand, you can say, "Oh, that makes sense."
Finally, we said, "I really appreciate your help." Appreciate means to be thankful for something.
Appreciate. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you taking the time to help me.
Now let's talk about solution number 4, overcome your fear of speaking.
This is so important. Many people are too afraid to speak, even when they know the words. So how do we overcome this fear?
First, you need to change your mindset. A mindset is your way of thinking about something. I'm working on developing a positive mindset about speaking English.
Mindset. What's your current mindset about speaking English? Do you think I can't do it? Or do you think I can improve with practice?
Exactly. You need to believe that mistakes are okay. In fact, mistakes are proof that you're trying.
Here's a phrase to remember. Every mistake is a lesson. This means when you make an error, you learn something new.
Every mistake is a lesson. Say it with me. Every mistake is a lesson.
Another tip, start small. Don't try to have a 1-hour conversation in English on your first day. Start with simple exchanges.
Right. Maybe start by ordering coffee in English or greeting someone in English. Small steps build confidence.
Small steps means little actions that lead to big results. I'm taking small steps towards fluency.
Small steps. Rome wasn't built in a day is a famous saying. It means big things take time.
Another helpful tip, find a supportive community. Practice with people who are also learning or who are patient and encouraging.
Yes, join online groups, find language exchange partners, or practice with friends who support you.
And remember, don't compare yourself to others. Everyone learns at their own pace. Focus on your own progress.
Your own pace means your speed. I'm learning at my own pace, and that's okay.
Pace. Don't worry if others seem faster. The important thing is that you're improving.
Solution number 5. Immerse yourself in English. Immerse means to surround yourself completely with something.
Immerse. I'm trying to immerse myself in English by watching English videos and listening to English music.
The more you expose yourself to English, the more natural it becomes. Here are some ways to immerse yourself.
First, watch English content with English subtitles. Don't use subtitles in your native language. Use English subtitles so you can read and hear at the same time.
This helps you connect sounds with written words. You'll learn pronunciation and spelling together.
Second, listen to English podcasts or audiobooks. Listen while you're cooking, exercising, or commuting.
Third, follow English speakers on social media. Read their posts, watch their stories, and even try commenting in English.
Fourth, change your phone's language to English. This forces you to think in English every day.
That's a great tip. You'll learn everyday vocabulary like settings, notifications, download, and more.
And finally, think in English. Throughout your day, try to narrate your activities in your mind using English.
I'm walking to the store. I'm buying milk. I'm feeling tired. I want to go home and rest.
These simple sentences train your brain to process information in English automatically.
Okay, everyone, let's create a simple action plan. This is what you should do starting today.
Day 1 to 7. Practice speaking for 5 to 10 minutes every day. Talk to yourself, describe your surroundings, or read out loud.
Week 2, start thinking in English. Describe your feelings and activities using simple English sentences in your mind.
Week 3. Learn and practice 5 to 10 useful phrases every week. Use them in your own sentences.
Week 4, try having short conversations in English. Find a language partner online or practice with friends who support you.
And remember, be patient with yourself. Fluency doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, practice, and persistence.
Persistence means you keep trying even when it's difficult. With persistence, you can achieve your goals.
Persistence. Don't give up. Keep practicing every single day.
All right, let's do a quick recap of everything we learned today.
We learned why you can understand English but can't speak it. The main reasons are lack of speaking practice, fear of making mistakes, translating in your head, limited active vocabulary, and lack of confidence.
Then we discussed 5 solutions. Practice speaking every day, stop translating in your head, build your active vocabulary, overcome your fear, and immerse yourself in English.
We learned useful phrases like I think, in my opinion, I agree, could you repeat that? And that makes sense.
We practiced real conversations about meeting friends and asking for help.
And we gave you an action plan to follow. Remember, small steps lead to big results.
The key message is this: understanding English is great, but if you want to speak fluently, you must practice speaking. There's no way around it.
Start today. Even if it's just 5 minutes, start speaking English out loud.
Well, everyone, we've reached the end of today's lesson. We hope this video helped you understand why speaking is difficult and what you can do to improve.
Remember, the gap between understanding and speaking is completely normal. It happens to every language learner. But with the right practice, you can close that gap.
Start implementing these strategies today. Talk to yourself, stop translating, learn phrases, overcome your fear, and immerse yourself in English.
And most importantly, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every time you speak, even if you make errors, you're getting better.
Before you go, please hit that like button if you found this video helpful. It really helps us reach more English learners like you.
And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to Fluent English Talk and turn on notifications. We create new lessons every week to help you on your journey to fluency.
Also, we want to hear from you. Leave a comment and tell us, what's the biggest challenge you face when speaking English? Or share one thing you're going to start doing today to improve your speaking.
We read every comment, and your feedback helps us create better content for you.
Thank you so much for watching. We believe in you, and we know you can become a confident English speaker.
Keep practicing, stay motivated, and never give up. You've got this.
See you in the next video.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.